Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's session, Building an Actionable Marketing Plan with AI with Pam Deidner. We're excited to have you join us today. I'm Amy Gabriel, Demand Gen Manager with ZoomInfo. I'll be your moderator for today. We'll be kicking things off shortly. First, just need to do some housekeeping. First, technical issues. They happen. So if you are experiencing any technical issues with viewing, just try refreshing. This is a web-based platform. Otherwise, you can use the Q&A feature on the right of your screen, and I'll do my best to help resolve that for you. In the Q&A, please feel free to ask us any questions you might have. You can submit these questions as they come up, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. Again, just submit the question using the Q&A feature on the right of the screen. And I'd also like to note that there's an upvote feature. So if you see a question asked that you'd like answered, by all means, upvote that. This session will be recorded. You will receive an email with a link to the recording within 48 hours after we conclude. So keep an eye out for that. And finally, our safe harbor statement. ZoomInfo is a publicly traded company. This presentation may contain forward-looking statements. Any buying decisions you make should be made based only upon currently available products and offerings. So without further ado, I'm going to pass this over to Pam.
All right. Thank you so much, Amy. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Amy, can you hear me okay? Good? Okay. Excellent. And just want everybody to know, ask me any questions while I'm presenting. And I have about 60 minutes. What I want to do is actually go through the presentation and then answer your question at the same time. So, Amy, if you can watch out for the question in the chat and also in the Q&A, and then feel free to interrupt me anytime. And if there are way too many questions, I may stop you and then say, hey, you know what, reach out to me on LinkedIn and I will address your question personally. Okay? All right, let's get going. I know now is a Q4. A lot of you are probably working on marketing plan, and a lot of you are also using AI at the same time. So what I want to do is share with everybody in terms of what you have in mind in terms for the marketing plan, especially in Q4. But if you have attended my session in the past, my session is very casual. Okay, this is very casual. Our job is to find joy. It's having a little fun. So relax. Seriously, let's not get too serious. It's only marketing. The way that I usually structure my session is I would like you to think with me. That means I will share a lot of thinking approach with you. And if you are working on a plan right now, or your team is working on the plan, I would like you to sit back, kind of like what I'm doing, and think about it, what I said. Some of them may apply to you and some don't. If it doesn't apply to you, have a sip of water, that pen finish, and then we go on. But some may apply to you, so you can listen what I said and you can disagree with me. Please do disagree with me, right? Because that means you are thinking. Really, from my perspective, the only way I know to find joy in a business setting is you find a new ways of doing old things, because our job can be pretty mundane sometimes. And the way that to actually add a little excitement and spice into it, it's like, oh my God, I can do that differently. Ooh, how interesting. In a business setting, that's how at least I find joy. I hope that will happen to you as well. So, with that being said, today is really like how can we create our marketing strategy and marketing plan with the power of AI? So, I want to touch on two topics. One is how to create a marketing plan, the other one is what AI can do for you. So, these are two. All right. And the way that I would like to address that is really, I'd like to frame a question for my session. Like, this is a specific question I would like to answer throughout the whole presentation. And the question I would like to address to answer that specific topic I just shared with you, how to boost your marketing strategy with the power of AI, is how can we improve our marketing plan by using AI while maintaining a human touch. That's the key, right? AI can do a lot of stuff for us, but we don't want to sound like a robot. Okay, that's not going to work. So let's think about it how we can do that. Before I dive into a detail, there's one specific question I want everybody to be on the same page. Is what do your executive want to know? Okay, because obviously we create marketing plan a lot of time is trying to get approval for budget or try to brief our team. Most importantly, we want to showcase to our management in terms of our recommendation for 2026. A lot of time what they want to do, what they want to know is what have you done so far? How successful or unsuccessful were you in terms of your efforts? And also what do you want to do next? How and when? What do you want them to see or what you want them to know is the same. What have I done so far? How successful or unsuccessful were my marketing efforts in relationship to the business goals? What am I planning to do next? How and when? So if you think about it, what they want to see and what you want them to know, they are exactly the same. However, the tension is in the detail. Okay. At a high level, that's make sure we are all on the same page. So the key is you just need to structure your marketing plan in a very logical and coherent way. Structure in a way that provide a sense of a clarity. That's what you need to do. That's it. You're like, yeah, that's pretty simple. But why do all of us struggle with that? So I'm going to break that down and also take AI into account in terms of what we can do for that. From my perspective, I like to focus on thinking how you should approach creating a marketing plan. There are two ways now with AI on board, right? Number one is AI takes the lead and you edit it. The other one is you take the lead and AI assist. So I want to talk about these two approaches. There are no right and a wrong way of doing it. Is at the end of the day is what give you the outcome that you need. Does that make sense? I have my own preference. I will share that with you, but I want to share this with you so you can somehow explore. Some of you might would like to explore, have AI take the lead and see what the outcome is. Okay. So let's talk about option number one, the AI-led flow. And this is a prompt. Okay. And this is not like a most sophisticated prompt. This is basically say, hey, develop a 6 months actionable marketing plan for, say, Bamboo Health. It's a company which offers clinical and behavioral health solutions, including its smart signals network. That's their product, right? To the clinicians and the pharmacists in the retail pharmacies and the hospitals. So you kind of give a little bit of intro about what your company is about and what you offer, right? And then you said you want to create a plan, include the following objectives, KPI, audience segmentations, campaign plan for 6 months, channel strategy, what other channel that you use, dial up and dial down, monthly content, editorial calendar, the budget allocation, and the near mix of strategic insight and technical action for each phase. So this is just giving AI a little bit more guidance in terms of what your plan should be. You can also try and say, create a 6 months actionable marketing plan for this company and then scan this website. You can write as simple as that by scanning your own website, and you can also test it and see if AI can come up with some interesting marketing plan to share with you, right? So for this right here, objective and measurement, they created a table, right? They created the 5 different objectives: demand generation, qualified leads, thought leadership. It's very typical. Strategic focus, they made that very clear. Is it drive the brand awareness, or is it the demand generation or thought leadership? The KPI in terms of a different objective have different way of measuring it. The target, I don't know how they come up with the KPI, but somehow they did. Okay, I did not upload any files. So from your perspective, you should take that as a grain of salt. Measurement tool, ZoomInfo, HubSpot, Salesforce, whatever tools that's similar to that. You may not use the similar tools, but you should look into what is your what's your CRM tool, what are your marketing automation tools, and the analytics tool. Is that helpful? So they give you some information, and they also have audience segmentation, bias persona, right? They are kind of not bad. Hospital and health system executives, the role, the pinpoint, the motivation, the channels where they go to, they are very, very concise and get to the point. Of course, you can also tell them to give you more information, right? Number three is the 6 months campaign plans. They actually write down from month 1 to month 6 what you need to do and give you a theme, strategic focus, and also tactical action. All right. Then they give the very detail in terms of the channel strategy, SEO, what do you need to do, social media. They actually say LinkedIn first. That's pretty good. They pick on this is more kind of like a B2B type of play. PPC, if you do a pay media, email marketing, nurture automation, they give a very specific campaigns, partnership, how do you work through the ecosystem? And then the editorial calendar, right, from month January to June. What are the themes? What are the key assets? And even recommending the frequency of assets, the content mixed, the channel ROI, and how do you track the ROI, and the phases like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and it breaks down into 6 months. Each phase is about 2 months and key deliverables. All right, that's not bad, right? What is missing? Given that we only have a short period of time, that is actually pretty solid. If you just asking for actionable marketing plan, what you need to do, they are giving you a lot of information in terms of what you need to do, but they don't have a lot of past data, even though they give you metrics. So you have to take that as a grain of salt. The things that was missing is lack of past data, lack of context, and lack of storytelling. But how do you actually formulate and articulate that? There are specific examples from my perspective that's missing. What are the executive priorities? And also, what are some of the past campaign results that we can take into account as a lesson learned? What are some of the highlights and lowlights that we should inform our management? Also, the marketing's impact on sales. Even though the KPI is actually very sales oriented, they are definitely take down to the middle of the funnels and the bottom of the funnel. But we need to make that even more clear. And there's no sales enablement effort, competitive landscape. That's because I did not give them a very specific instruction. Maybe there's other relevant information that's unique for your company's marketing effort that was not also included, also incorporated as a part of that prompt. So what you can do is, writing is rewriting. Prompting is reprompting. So if you want to do an AI-led marketing plan, what you need to do is you need to add a whole lot more information to it to actually help you. First of all, you started with your role. Hey, AI, you are creating a marketing plan for a specific company, wherever you are. And what does the company do? And your role as AI, your role is a CMO or director of marketing with expertise in a specific field. What are the specific field that you have? So you give AI additional wings. And the current marketing challenges are, let's talk about what our challenges are. Okay, be very transparent about it. You know what? We have not met our lead target or our content needs improvement, whatever that is, right? Then you upload specific files. And for each file, you need to give a specific guidance on how to analyze it. Sometimes you have to give the necessary guidance on how you do analysis, but you can also try not to do that and see if they can do the analysis on their own, right? You have to define objective AI generated marketing plan. What are a couple of objectives you want to accomplish? Make that very clear, because from my perspective, even though you that AI take the lead on this, but you still need to have a vision in terms of what you want to accomplish for your marketing plan, and you have to give that guidance to AI. You can basically say, hey, eventually I'm going to create a PowerPoint. So can you give me a recommended slide sequence? And AI, I want you to think, give me two versions, two variants, and choose the version that's most likely to achieve whatever objectives I identify right here and address my marketing challenges. So you challenging AI to give you two different versions and also ask for its recommendation which one's better. This is what I learned this week when I went to Marketing Profs working with Chris Penn. And he always, if something that's very sophisticated, and he will end it. Take your time, AI. Take your time. I love that. I thought that's so cool. So you can end it. Take your time to do analysis. All right. So try and see if that you get your results. So that is what I want to share with you in terms of if you want AI to take the lead or you want AI to give you additional insight, this is one way of doing it. You continuously reprompting and optimizing it. That makes sense? Amy, does anybody have any specific questions so far?
Yes, Pam, there's one question for you right now. Tracy had just asked, isn't there some risk of uploading your own company docs and then those being aggregated and used in the future by AI?
Yes.
If we have the
That,
paid version, can that be prevented, or other ways to prevent the info from becoming public domain?
that's a great question. I love that. In general, for any kind of company information and the files, I will not try on ChatGPT. I won't. So if your company have issued some sort of legal guidance or the AI policies, you should follow that directly. Many of the companies actually will say this is the tool that you can use. A lot of enterprises, they will say you can only use Copilot. Okay, if that's the case, a lot of that information is inside the firewall. And some company also have their own LLM chatbot. You can use that as well. But a lot of time when I talk to different marketing managers and they say usually they are not getting the very ideal version responses. And I totally understand. That's assume your company in the worst case scenario does not have AI policy, does not have any guidance, and you are very concerned about that the LLM or any other companies will be using your tools or share some of your confidential information with others. What I would do is actually not using some of the confidential information or using something called look-like. Is it possible that the information you uploaded is a little bit more generic? That's number one. Or you don't include any kind of product roadmap information, or you basically shield any kind of revenue information and you say percentage. So you need to think through when you are uploading the information, what kind of information you are uploading, and they may be using it, then you need to be cautious about it. Does that make sense? Or you take a second approach, you take the lead, and you don't have AI doing all the analysis, which is the second approach that I will talk about. Tracy, is that helpful? I think it's a long-winded answer, but I hope that addressed your question. Is that good? Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, there's one more. April says, I still haven't found an AI tool that makes good slides or marketing plan template I love. Do you have any recommendations?
No, I don't. That's a short answer. I am also searching. I'm still looking. And the problem is, I use Copilot. Many enterprises I talk to that the only go-to tools that they can use is Copilot. And I was using Copilot to do the PowerPoint slides, not that great. And when I try to use ChatGPT and to do a PowerPoint slide, I have to give a very, very specific instructions. Even with that, the outcome is still not that good. And by the time I spend, that amount of hours giving AI the specific instruction, you know what? I might as well just do it myself. Would you agree? So what I did right now is it's more kind of like a slide by slide improvement enhancement. So even if I actually have a solid outline, and when I'm still doing that myself, and I'm looking for slide by slide enhancement, that's what I'm doing. But if any one of you actually have a better ideas for any tools that we all should try, please put in the chat. I would love to know. I would. Okay. But like I said, I try different tools and is suboptimal. And I think we will get there one day, but not at this minute, unfortunately. But that's a great question. I mean, Holy Grail is my God, if AI can create PowerPoints for us just the way we want it. Any Noble LLM. Okay, so Stephanie were talking about Notebook LLM. So that's actually from Google. If you have a paid version of it, you can actually upload like 300 files, I think, or more, that to really learn about your website, learn about yourself. And you can also use Notebook LLM to repurposing a lot of content. Stephanie, would you agree? Just enter into a chat. But I don't know about creating PowerPoints. But if you have a very good success, please also enter that in terms of you being using Notebook LLM and have a huge amount and have a good level, a high level of success. Share that with us. But I know exactly what you're talking about, and I would suggest if you are proficient, ChatGPT or any kind of chatbot users, you should actually test Notebook LLM, and in terms of how in depth that they can go into detail to do analysis for you. But again, be incredibly careful about the files that you upload. Okay. Very good. Stephanie, thank you so much. You said I have used this for my speaking presentation at several events. Good for you, girl. Good for you. What about, can you also set about images? Like, can you share just one or two prompts with everybody, Stephanie? Just one or two prompts, like the prompt that you are using in order to create somehow a fairly decent speaking presentation. If you have a one or two, that would be great. Hopefully it's not too long. If you can search and then just add it, that would be awesome. Okay. Yes, Stephanie, reach out to me, connect with me on LinkedIn. My God, I love your answer. I'll send you an Amazon gift card. All right, I have to keep going. Everybody good? All right, so far? Okay. Next one I want to talk about is option 2. Obviously, you are taking the lead and AI assist, right? So in this specific approach, we humans take the lead. And the way I want to structure the talk or the way that you look at the presentation is you need to use storytelling. You're like, oh my God, do you really have to say that? Okay, that's dated. Okay, don't talk to me about storytelling. Well, I only want to mention about storytelling in one in structure. So remember, when we were in high school, we read any kind of play, they tend to have act 1, act 2, act 3, like Shakespeare's play. And in general, movies follows 3 acts storytelling structure: act 1, act 2, act 3. Act 1 is opening, act 2 is the middle, act 3 is the end. So when you are doing a marketing plan, you need to think about what is your opening and what is your middle and how are you going to close it, right? So that will actually minimize the stress of creating a marketing plan. It is, I'm not kidding. Because before, like, oh my God, I need to create a plan. Oh, so many slides. But if you break it down to, all right, I have opening, I have a middle, I have an end, then you can put your slides at different buckets. Is that helpful? I know you cannot hear very well. I apologize.
Hann saknar móður sinnar.
Heyrðu, hann á kannski eitthvað að vega þetta eftir að syngja og dansa í Eurovision-keppninni. Þegar skal ég gæta líka.
Hvernig þetta er að syngja?
Það er tíðið sem alltaf skal.
I've been the Eurovision Song Contest. None of you will laugh at me then.
Okay. Trivial Pursuit. What's the name of the movie? Eurovision. Yes. Okay. Jay, love you. Love you. Eurovision. April. Yes. Who doesn't love Will Ferrell and the Rachel McAdams? Honestly. So that is the opening, the first 90 seconds of the movie. That's it. But if you watch it carefully, the objective has been 100% defined. Will Ferrell is going through a journey to win the Eurovision contest. Okay? But there is a subplot. You can see the dad kept saying, like, sit down, what are you doing? So the underlining subplot is the father and the son relationship is not good. So part of the middle, Act 2, in addition to his journey of winning the Eurovision contest, is going to be working on the father and son relationship. And there's a little girl showed up, at the end of that 90-second opening. So there's a love interest between that little girl and that little boy. So in the first 90 seconds, three things. This movie is about his journey of winning or losing Eurovision contest. You don't know he's going to win or lose. You just don't know. You also know he's going to work on his father and son relationship. You also know that they may fall in love or they may not. So that's it. That's the whole movie. But the opening has been set up so clear. The Act 2 is going to be about these three storylines. That is it. That is what you need to do for your marketing plan. Your opening needs to be so clear, to the point, that your Act 2, what needs to be addressed. Does that make sense, everybody? I'll make sure you understand. Your opening is so clear. Remember, I talked about structure your information in a logical and coherent manner, provide a sense of clarity. The clarity comes from your opening. Your opening needs to be that clear. Then you scope it, pave the way for your Act 2. That's how you structure and how you approach your marketing plan. Then, of course, you're going to have a great ending. Okay, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So, what does the Act 1, 2, and 3 looks like in the sense of a B2B marketing plan? The opening, you should do 2025 updates. 1 or 2 slides, get to the point, get to the point, get to the point. How you perform, how you deliver in 2025. Then you have a 2-pager talking about 2026, including success metrics. Once those are set, you use this as a starting point to pave the way for your Act 2. Your Act 2 basically is structured to follow your 2-pager, and you incorporate all the key elements that you need to explain that 2-pager. And then you address additional concerns that management may have. Then you close it by reinforce some of the key points or articulate what they need to do for you. That is the 3-act structure storytelling in marketing plan. You can also write this as an AI prompt, upload the information as necessary and see what they come up with. But I want to do it a human version of it. So Act 1, you summarize your 2026 plan in 1 or 2 slides, set up what you want to tell and what they need to know in Act 2. Yeah? So the 2025, I know a lot of you will spend a lot of hours to pull the data together to show what have you done in 2025. My thought on this is you're going to put about 40 hours into that. A lot of time we were like, we spent so much time pulling the data together. That's showed in 20 slides. No, 1. Can you summarize everything into the results that the management cares the most? They maybe care about thought leadership. They care about brand awareness. They care about lead gen. They care about revenue contribution. They care about how much money you spent. Okay, showcase that. Actual versus goal. Then you color code it. The one that you met the goal, you put the background color green. The one you didn't meet the goal, you just look at yellow. The one you didn't do, put it red. Be very transparent about it. Seriously, be transparent about it. Or you can do it this way. We have $702,000 of budget. We increased generated revenue of 5.5, and we impacted 30% of revenue, or we aided 34 opportunities. Number driven, get to the point, and then you can move on to your 2026 plan. Your 2026 plan should be like this. What is the business goal? Align with your business objectives. These 2, your management care, right? That's make sure they know that, you remind them that, and you tie that with your marketing objectives and marketing strategies. So you show them literally on 1 slide, hey, this is your goal. This is what I'm going to do. You show them it's interlocked. Then you show them also who are you going to market to and how are you going to measure your success. Objective is what, strategies are how. So let me show you very quickly. Right here, you can say you increase the revenue by 15%, or you can say increase the revenue to $500 million, not in physical 2025. Sorry, that's a typo. That's assume it's a physical year 2026. You can also indicate what are some of the industry segments that you want to go after, right? The business objective, obviously, you created this product. A lot of people like to say best in class. Ha ha ha. All right. So that's the product. You equip the audience with your product to do what? So they can have a better experience of what? So this is more like a template. Marketing objectives, I can tell you this. Marketing only has 3 objectives. Everybody, 3. Number 1, brand equity, aka thought leadership. Number 2, customer acquisition, retention, aka demand gen. Number 3, sales enablement, aka sales enablement. That's it. That's your marketing objectives. So you obviously You position your product as a go-to platform to certain buyers. Okay, fine. That's a thought leadership play. You want to build awareness or drive demands. That's a demand gen. Customer acquisition, customer retention. You want to provide air cover for sales enablement. That's it. So if you have done your job right, your marketing objective should not, let me say that again, should not change very much from year to year. A lot of marketers say, I need a new marketing objectives. Do you? If you do your job right, you are optimizing. Then your marketing objectives stay very similar. Okay? 3. Then you can elaborate a whole lot more. Thought leadership, marketing strategies, how? Thought leadership, this is what I will do. Drive demand, this is what I will do. Sales enablement, this is what I will do. 2 or 3 bullet points, right? Then these are the people I will market to. And my KPI, rule of 3, like the Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, your KPI at this level should be rule of 3. Are you measuring MQLs, SQLs over MQLs conversion? Are you measuring pipeline opportunities impact? Whatever. Higher level, not number of the content downloads, not number of the comments, likes, shares, higher level, the level that management cares. Everybody, that is your opening. So when you talk about your opening, you also give a little bit specific details. For example, if you want to talk about MQL, you can talk about in terms of, hey, based on my experience, or we've been doing a campaign, we notice there's a positive correlation. More campaigns, more leads, or more contents, more traffic, or more webinars, more SQL. So you should have a point of view in terms of everything you do. Is there some sort of correlations with the outcome of you are tracking? If there is, tell your management about that. Because you want more budget. Right? You want more budget because you want to do more. And then you have higher goal to achieve it. And improve SQL or SQL over MQL's conversion rate. This is another thing you can tell your management in terms of what you will do. Hey, you are going to analyze the sales territorial data to identify highest performing regions. Maybe the Southeast regions. I'm getting too excited, sorry. The Southeast regions are performing better than Northeast. All right, maybe you can use your ICP criteria in ZoomInfo to determine the number of a highly qualified company in those regions, and you can do a vetted region-specific campaigns. While you're doing that, you are increasing the probability of SQL. Does that make sense? So you talk a little bit about it in your opening, what you will do. Set the stage for Act 2. Your Act 2 is a table of content. You already set up a stage on Act 1. Then to substantiate your Act 1 in terms of the marketing strategies, which is how, what are the supporting documents that you need for Act 2? You may be talking about competitive analysis. You may need to have a buyer's persona. You have a lot of products, but you cannot market all the product due to your finite marketing budget. So what is the product priority that people need to know? What is your campaign timelines? What is your editorial for content? And also your budget breakdown. That is your Act 2. So I just did a 6-hour marketing planning session at Marketing Profs B2B Forum. And this is like literally 45-minute version of it. So I cannot go into each slides in detail. So I'm just going to share a couple of slides and also give you some ideas how you can use AI to do to help you. Does that make sense? So I cannot go into every single one of them. I want to apologize in advance. So, but now what you do is once you create table content, you already have your Act 2. Then you can look each session and then you can write the proper prompts to assist you. Okay. Let's use buyer's persona as example. And this is CIO Charles. And this was created by a human. And you want to validate if this information needs to be updated or refreshed for plain 2026. What you can do is you can say, create a buyer persona for the CIO for your product at your company, name him Charles. You include the demographics, personality trait, role summary. What about the day-to-day life? Write short paragraphs, but not day-to-day in terms of they get up, he gets up at 7 a.m., he exercises, and then he take the coffee at the Starbucks, and then he drives. No, not that. But you say day-to-day life, write 3 short paragraphs, describe a typical responsibilities and activities as a CIO, explain how he might use your product in his role. That's the important part. And then describe where he goes, sources, his channels to get information related to your products, right? So I get down to very specific at what I want to see in that 3 paragraphs. Goals and aspiration, please provide 4 to 5 bullet points. Challengings and pain points, same thing. So you can see when you give a very specific instruction like this, and this is what AI does. It follows your instruction. Paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. Goals and aspiration, challenges and pain point. Yes, Stephanie is correct. You can also use Notebook LLM to do that if you uploaded your past buyer's persona in that and see what they come up with. Okay. So then you created the AI examples. You can use the AI examples and the human examples, and you can do a comparison. Then this is another version or refreshed or revised version of your buyer's persona without working directly with the marketing research. Sometimes the marketing research department may take longer than you anticipated to get the information to you, but this can be a placeholder. Is that helpful, everybody? So that's one way of doing it. The one specific slide I really want to talk about, given I only have 15 minutes, is the product launch and marketing outreach timeline. It's very important you have one slide to show the 12-month rolling calendar. Any kind of campaign roadmap should be 12 months rolling calendar. Within this 12 months, what are the campaigns that you will be doing? What are the company earning reports will happen? When is the customer event? What major events that you will go to? If you actually have a lot of events you'll go to, break this down into 2 slides or even 3 slides. Okay? And this can be a placeholder. When you started, you don't have the complete campaign into one timeline, no problem. Do a placeholder. Show or highlight what you know. Then you go back and edit and update this slide on a regular basis. You can also use the arrow right here to keep tracking it. For example, you're going to do an update in March, move this green arrow to March, and then change everything before March to a different color. Highlight it, either it's done or postponed or not done. One slide. Okay? Or you can do several slides. That makes sense. So for each product and campaign April, you don't. Depends. If every single business unit or your product, like for example, your product is $1 billion product, and you have a lot of events going on, then you do it by product, but you don't have to do it by product. I would focus on hero products. Does that make sense? It focus on where your marketing money will be spent, and that product priority will drive the campaign plan. Is that helpful, April? Okay, that will be the high-level guidance. Okay. The next one, you can see this, again, everything is interlocked. So I created this slide. The next slide is I'm going to explain a little bit more about product A launch Rolling Thunder from January 7th to February 28th. So I created a slide to show January and February. We're going to do a post-launch report on March 15th. And what are the channels that I will dial up specifically for the product A Rolling Thunder. But again, this does not have to be complete in November or December, right? You do what you can. And when you have additional information, go back and add it, right? The other one is the content. Again, I know that you are like, oh, we have hundreds of content pieces throughout the year. I get it. But what are some of the content that will spend majority of your marketing budget? Follow the 80-20 rule. Are you going to have 5 ebooks? Each ebook is like $20,000. Are you doing some sort of customer survey? That's going to cost you $100,000. Whatever, focus on the key content pieces. Does that make sense? I understand a lot of you, or a lot of, like me, I write blog posts every 2 weeks. Do I have to edit here? Probably not. But there are 1 or 2 blog posts I consistently refresh and update on regular basis. In that case, that probably needs to be added right here. So sometimes you have to make your judgment call. Okay? It's a judgment call. So that is some examples for Act 2. I cannot go into all the detail given that I only have 60 minutes with you. Act 3 is make your closing count. Closing is you can have a summary slide, or you are asking for decision, like when or how much you're going to approve my budget. That's a seeking decision. The other one is help needed. The decision or the budget has been approved, but I need certain departments' help, but I'm not getting it. Or I need certain people's approval. I'm not getting it. So help needed. And then if you don't have any of that, you can determine, okay, you know what, everybody, thank you so much for, allowing me to present this marketing plan. I just want to share with you for next 3 months. These are the 5 things we will be doing. That's next steps. How would you rate the session? Oh, no, that's not. Okay, the new poll. Never mind. I thought it's a question. Okay, so these are the 2 things I'm sharing with you guys in terms of when you are working this next year's plan, you have 2 approaches. Either way, you are going to use AI to help you one way or another, either doing analysis or kind of set up a stage for you if you want the AI to take the lead, or you take the lead, either way, right? So I'm showing you what you can do.
AI, first of all, artificial intelligence. Let's be honest, most of the intelligence we've encountered in our life, pretty artificial, right? AI began, all we had was real intelligence, beginning of mankind, right?
Yes.
Didn't work. So, we were dumb, still dumb.
So no, yeah.
All our thinking.
Intelligence
So we
didn't work.
kept thinking until we could create a fake version of it, so dumb people would seem smart.
Yeah.
And then we thought, well, maybe that wasn't the smartest thing. Because what if the fake brain gets smarter than the real brain? We would look even dumber. So, if I got this right,
Yes.
we're smart enough to invent AI, dumb enough to need it, and so stupid we can't figure out if we did the right thing. Don't know. Because
That is unbelievable. That is true.
the first AI I think we ever tried was Frankenstein, which that didn't work well at all. Why was he wearing a sport jacket? Why?
Why was Frankenstein
Why-
dressed in a suit jacket?
Yes. We're terrorizing villagers. It's not a wine taste. No one's going to say, I'm sorry, Mr. Stein, his jacket's only.
All right. I think that actually highlighted the paradox of AI, or the dichotomy that we are experiencing. So Jerry actually have a statement. We are smart enough to invent artificial intelligence, dumb enough to need it, and so stupid we can't figure out if we did the right thing, right? Actually, I want to challenge that. From my perspective, We are smart enough to invent artificial intelligence, sophisticated enough to use it, so wise we can figure it out if we did the right thing. And you are. You are very experienced marketers. You know what you are doing. The key is you need to have a point of view. The most important thing is you need to have a point of view. When AI gives you a response, always remember that is a recommendation. That's not panacea. You have to read it with a mindset like, is that right? I don't know about that. Is it? Should I do additional prompting or should I do another analysis even on your own? And you have to understand, use AI to assist you because AI doesn't know your audience. You do. Don't have your expertise. You do. Doesn't understand internal politics. You do. Doesn't know your product or program offering. You do. Doesn't know your community. You have a lot of tribal knowledge and you have the expertise. You need to be able to make that point of view. Does that make sense, everybody? I hope that you had a good time and this is a good session worth a while. And I share like the opening with you in terms of like a movie, right? Like how you should set up your act one. Now in the future, when you talk to anybody about marketing plan, you always say, what is my act one? What's my act two? What's my act three? That's how you should talk. That's how you should structure your plan together. And at the same time, I really hope that you find joy attending this specific session. And I hope this is very helpful in terms of working on your plan. If nothing else, it gives you a little bit of idea to think differently. And of course, if you have any questions, reach out to me anytime, hello@pmdinner.com, or you can also connect with me on LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. I'm pretty active on all social media channels, but mostly on LinkedIn. So if you have any specific questions, feel free to DM me anytime. And I have a little short survey, 20 seconds, 6 questions. If you can tell me how I'm doing, that would be greatly appreciated. So back to you, Amy. Anybody have any questions? I didn't track it. Sorry.
I didn't see any other questions pop up, but if anybody has any, please pop it in now.
Yeah, thank you for all the emojis. I see all the clapping. I feel the love. I feel the love. You guys are awesome. Seriously.
Seems like they really found some joy with you, Pam.
Yeah. You know what? Here's one more thing. I know how tough to be a marketer. I do. Okay, we all are. But I really, really hope that when you are doing your plan, you go like, oh my God, oh, another plan I have to write. I'm crumbling down. Okay, well, just have a little bit of different mindset. See, you know what? I'm creating a story, act 1, act 2, and act 3. And see if by flipping that mindset, you will add a little joy to it when you put your plan together. Of course, you'll get frustrated. If you do, just send me a quick note and we can have a therapy session together. Does that sound good? All right, very good. So what's next, Amy?
Yeah, thanks again, Pam, for your time and insight. I know I always love learning more about AI and how it can help marketers everywhere. So thanks everybody for joining. Hope to see you all soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
I heard that inbound numbers are brutal.
Fuel Hands tomorrow is going to be a disaster.
Zoom info, why are they not responding?
They opened your emails but didn't click. But the good news, their CTO spent 4 minutes on your pricing page yesterday.
Okay, draft them a pricing simulation email.
It sounds great, but I'm not sure it's a priority for us right now.
I hear you. Can I walk you through how a company with a similar challenge leveraged our solution?
They just pushed the meeting to the afternoon.
Oh, they're flipping out.
You're 85% to quota. If you move Clearwave to multi-year, you will hit quota.
It's all over LinkedIn. AI's eating all the search.
I should have sold the stock.
Give me a 15-minute podcast to prep for Northbeam's renewal.
Usage is mostly stable, but adoption in the analytics team dropped about 50.
I've got a 7-step email waterfall. I'll start with Lead Magic, backups with Prospeo, ICPs, TriKit, then instantly debounce.
The list is already verified by ZoomInfo. Just assign the right owners and ship it to sellers.
Good point. Okay, let's keep it simple.
They canceled trivia.
We're screwed.
Which plays are performing?
Which deals are stalled?
Who's ready for expansion?
Team, I know that the last few weeks have been tough, and I do not take that lightly. But know this, pipeline's up 37